Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for this Hangout on Air about add-ons, extensions, and apps. We are going to give folks another minute or so to join the session, and so just hold on tight and we'll get started in just a minute. Okay, well, we will go ahead and begin the presentation. Again, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for this Google Hangout on Air on add-ons, extensions, and apps. We're excited to demo some of our favorite enhancements to your Google account and to Google Chrome. And we have several members of the training team on the session with us. I'll go ahead and start with introductions. My name is Katie McInerney, and I am the training coordinator with the Office of Information Technology. So I help organize and manage events across campus for different technical subjects and topics when it comes to training. We also have another one of our trainers with us today who's going to be covering the extensions section of the presentation this afternoon. Don Schmidt is a wonderful trainer who focuses primarily on Gmail and Google Calendar. You've probably seen him in several workshops if you've attended any events in the past, and he really knows it all when it comes to Google. So we're glad to have him with us this afternoon. Louise Flynn is another member of our training team. She is our moderator this afternoon. She's going to be watching the questions as they are being submitted throughout the session, and she is welcome to provide any input and feedback as well as we go along this afternoon. So for the presentation today, we've provided a quick agenda to explain how the slides will progress. We are going to start with a very quick overview for the Hangout on Air platform. Then we'll transition on to a comparison between add-ons, extensions, and apps. And then we get to actually do a demo and provide a demo for several of our favorite enhancements for add-ons, extensions, and marketplace apps. And we will take questions throughout, and I'll show you in just a minute how to use the Q&A app through HOA so you can submit those as we're going along. And hopefully we'll have plenty of time to answer questions throughout the session. And then we'll end with additional resources as well as upcoming training events and contact information. All right, so for a very brief introduction to how the Hangout on Air platform operates, we wanted to show you what you have access to from an end user perspective. If you hover over the top right portion of your screen, you should see a grid. If you click on that grid, you have two options, one for Showcase and one for Q&A. The Showcase app allows you to see additional information and materials that will provide additional information regarding the topics that we're discussing today. So you can click on Showcase. You see several links are already posted out there for you. You should have a link over to the GST Google Plus page and to the YouTube page, as well as a link to the slides that we're presenting this afternoon. Also, if you go up to the grid in the right-hand menu, you have the option for Q&A. So this is where you can submit questions throughout the presentation. If you click on that icon, you'll have another column appear on the right-hand side, and you can click on Ask a New Question. So when you click on that green button, you can then submit the question that you have. Keep in mind, this is a little bit different than most Q&A apps. We cannot respond via text to questions. We can only respond verbally. So that's why we have Louise as our moderator today. She'll be reviewing all the questions that are coming in and will provide those questions at the appropriate time throughout the hour. Okay, so let's jump right in and let's talk a little bit about what the differences are between add-ons, extensions, and apps. And we are referring to all of these as enhancements, kind of grouping them all together under the term enhancements through the slides. But let's start with add-ons. What are add-ons? Add-ons basically enhance Google Apps. They are available for Docs, for Sheets, and for Forms. So not quite across the board for all of the Google Drive apps yet, but definitely for those three. And they are available per account. So once you enable them and activate them for your own personal account, whether it's your NC State Google account, whether it's a consumer account that you have with Google, they will be available per account, which means that you can log into any computer, any browser, anywhere, and still have access to those add-ons. You can find them in the app menu, and we'll demo where to locate your add-ons later on in the presentation. And we recommend that you use Chrome for Google add-ons. They will work in any browser, but tend to have better performance in Google Chrome. Extensions are a little bit different. They are available per browser, and there are several different browsers that offer extensions. And today we're going to focus on extensions within the Chrome browser, so within Google Chrome. But they do enhance the functionality of your browser. They provide nice shortcuts to different features that you're working on, and we'll show you some of our favorites today. They are also available per account, so you must be logged into your Chrome account in order to access those extensions. But again, you can be logged into any computer, anywhere, as long as it's within Chrome. And they are added to your address bar. So those shortcuts are very easy to find up in your Chrome address bar, and you can access the extension that you want to activate. Marketplace apps are a little bit different because they are third-party software options that actually integrate with Google Apps. They are on a limited availability for NC State because they do have to go through an approval process through the admin and the Google Services team here on campus. But you can access them on your own personal consumer account. Keep in mind they're not all free, so you may have to pay for them. Again, that's on your personal consumer account. Just a few important notes before we go into the demo portion of the session. We do want to make note that these enhancements are not supported by NC State because they are developed through other users and other organizations. So they are not developed by NC State, therefore we cannot assist with technical issues or troubleshooting a lot of technical issues that you could encounter. The help desk will welcome some basic general questions about add-ons and extensions, but we just won't be able to help troubleshoot if there are issues that you run into. The end user also has to agree to certain permissions and requirements before installing and activating these enhancements. So it's important to read through and understand what the enhancement is asking for as far as access to your account. And we'll show you a few examples of what that might look like later on in the presentation. We also encourage that you read the reviews and make sure that there's a strong, high rating for the enhancement before you install. You can learn a lot about the app through the reviews that other users have submitted, and definitely the higher it's rated, the better. All right, so let's jump on into add-ons. Again, add-ons enhance Google Apps, and right now they are just available for Forms, Sheets, and Docs. You may wonder where you can find available add-ons to enable for your account. The best place to go is to that individual app. So you can either go out to Docs, Sheets, or Forms and look for the add-ons menu. We have a sample here just to show you what it looks like within a Google Doc. In your menu, if you see add-ons, you can click on that option and then choose Get Add-ons. This window is going to allow you to browse all of the app-specific add-ons that you can choose from, in this example for Google Docs. So you can scroll through and see what all of the options are and the different available add-ons are for Google Docs, and then you can do a specific search as well in the top right-hand search field. So if you know of a specific add-on that you're looking for, you can type it in and see the results. You can also sort by different categories. If you're looking for a specific add-on, you can use the drop-down menu and search for specific types of enhancements. And we're going to walk through the complete installation process of an add-on in just a minute, and that's where we can show you where the permissions and requirements appear, where you can read through and make sure that you understand what it's asking for. We'll also show you how to complete the installation process and how to select it to use within the app. Again, these are recommended for Google Chrome, but they will work in any browser. So a few of the add-on examples that we're going to show you today. The first is formLimiter, which is used within Google Forms. The second is split names in Sheets, which of course will be used in Google Sheets. And the final one is Avery Label Merge, which actually incorporates Sheets and Docs. So we'll show you how those work together in just a minute. So formLimiter is the first add-on we're going to walk you through today, and I love this particular add-on. In our Google Forms classes, we receive several questions regarding how to automatically close a form, either when it reaches a certain day and time or when they have reached a certain number of responses. And that's what formLimiter can do. It can enhance Google Forms to add on those additional features and that extra functionality to allow you to incorporate those functions. So let's take a quick look at this slide. Again, it will show you a few bullets of what the formLimiter is capable of. Again, setting that number of responses, customizing that day and time for the automatic close date. You can also personalize the notification that the end user will receive if the form is closed. And you can also specify to receive a notification yourself as the form owner once the form has closed. So let's go out to Google Forms, and we'll walk through how to find the formLimiter within the add-ons browser window, and also how to utilize it and activate it. So I've created a test form for us to use today. At the top, I do want to mention, once you have installed add-ons, you will see the add-on icon appear right where the cursor is. So right now we don't see that. So that means that within our form, we don't have any add-ons to choose from. So let's change that. We're going to click on the More menu, which is the three-dot icon up here on the top right. Scroll down and find Add-ons. And again, we're seeing all of the add-ons that can work with Google Forms. and we're going to do a quick search. Okay, so all of our results will appear in this list. The first thing I would encourage anyone to do when they're looking for add-ons is to click the specific option or add-on that you want to learn more about. And at this point, you can scroll through screenshots. Most of them do have images of how the add-on operates, and you can see specific information about what should appear when you have it active. If you keep scrolling, it will also provide an overview with additional information about the app. And if you keep on scrolling, there are user reviews. And so these are really helpful comments and feedback to take a look at and to read through before you install the app, just to get a better idea of how other people feel about this particular add-on. Also at the top, there should be a star rating out of 5 stars. And again, we recommend anything 4 stars and higher is pretty much a safe bet. So to install this add-on, we're going to click on the blue Free button, and it will bring up a window that will show all of the permissions that it's requesting. And I'm not sure if you can see this on your screen or not, but it's just a little pop-up window that is letting you know what access the add-on will need. So a few things here I'll mention: being able to know who you are in Google, being able to view your address, view and manage spreadsheets, so on and so forth. So in this instance, we'll go ahead and allow all of those permissions. And then you'll see it pop up saying you have installed formLimiter and give you a little bit more information about what it is. So we'll click on Got It. And now what we see at the top right-hand menu of our form is the add-ons icon. So now we know we have add-ons to choose from. And by default, it will go ahead and open formLimiter. But let me show you, just in case it's not already open and active when you log into your form, when you're ready to enable it or to activate it for your particular form, you can click on Add-ons, and it will open up a menu of all of the add-ons you can choose from. We'll select formLimiter. And now we're ready to set a limit. So we'll click on Set Limit. And that has activated formLimiter. So now we can start configuring our settings and telling the add-on what we want it to do. We're going to show you 2 options that you can choose from within this particular add-on. I want to make note very quickly that a 3rd option was just recently added to formLimiter this week. It's the 3rd option, Destination Spreadsheet Cell Value. We haven't done a lot of research on that, so I'm not going to be able to talk a lot about it today. But I do encourage you to take a look and research that 3rd option if that's something that you're interested in using. So the first example I'm going to show you today is setting the date and time. So you can automatically have the form close on a particular day and time that you set. So all we have to do here is just click on the field to select the day. So I'll just choose today's date. And I'll set a time for later this evening. And you can also customize the notification that the end user receives once the form is closed. So if I wanted to come in here and say something a little bit different than the default message, I could definitely do that. And then again, collaborators on the form, not just the owner, so other editors will also receive an email once the form has closed. So that's a nice option and a nice feature for the editors and for the owners to be notified. So that's one example of how you can use formLimiter. The other way is to have the form automatically close once you receive a certain number of responses. So we'll choose max number of form responses. And then we can enter in the number when we want it to close. Now what's a little bit different here is how this is phrased. So it's really important to take note of the wording, because the form will close when the number of responses is greater than what you enter in this field. So I'm going to enter the number 2, but the form will not close until it reaches a number after 2, so when it reaches the number greater than 2. And I'll show you how that works. We'll keep everything else as default, and we'll save and enable. All right, so let's go out and test this and make sure it's working the way we want it to. So we'll preview the form. We'll go out to the form. We'll submit our first testing submission here. All right, so that looks fine. We'll close that down. Back on the editor screen, we'll see that we have one response. So we'll go back out and submit our second form. All right, back on the editor screen, we see we have received 2 responses. And now we'll try our third. Okay, and now it's showing 3 responses have been collected. So at this point in time, it should show any other users that the form has been closed. So just as expected, it does show that the form has been closed, just like it was set up in our configuration column. And as the owner or as the editor, you can easily activate the form again from this screen, which is a nice shortcut. And then within the editor view, we can click on the Responses tab and see this big red banner appear that says it's no longer accepting responses. So that is working as it should. We can turn this back on if we needed to, but this is the power of the formLimiter add-on. So wonderful tool. Hopefully you will find it as helpful as we have. All right, so let's keep moving and talk about another one of our favorite add-ons, which is split names in sheets. Now I have a feeling there's a lot of Excel fans out there. I know we've seen a lot come through our classes. And Sheets isn't quite on the same level as Excel yet. So there are still some features and functionalities that haven't been added to Google Sheets yet. Splitting the names, I know, is a popular feature and a popular tool within Excel. And so those of you who have been wondering how you can do that within Google Sheets, hopefully this will help answer that question for you. So let's take a look. So we've already created a test spreadsheet out here in Google, and we have a column with full names. So you'll see first and last name, you'll see some have a middle initial, some have a prefix and a suffix. What we want to do here is split out these names in different columns and different name categories. Maybe if we're creating labels or doing a mailing, we want to be able to split these up pretty quickly. So what I'm going to do is highlight column A where all of the names are, go over to my add-ons menu, click on Split Names, and Start. So you see I've already installed it. I'm not going to walk back through the installation process for this one. And a pop-up window appears and allows you to specify if you have a header, so that's really important so it doesn't split that first row. And then you can choose which columns you want to divide the names into. So I'm just going to keep all the defaults and check first, middle, last, salutation, and suffix. And now I'm going to tell it to split. And just like that, it takes the full name and divides them up into the different columns that I had selected in the settings window. So it's very quick, very simple, very easy to set up. That's really all there is to it. So hopefully this will be helpful to you all. I know, again, just like formLimiter, it's a favorite of ours. All right, so the final add-on that we're going to walk you through in detail this afternoon is the Avery Label Merge. Now what the Avery Label Merge add-on can do is create labels or name tags. And there's a few different components that are required for this add-on to work. The first thing that we would recommend is going ahead and setting up a Google Sheet with the data that you want to use. So if you're doing mailing labels, it's important to go ahead and pull all of that information into a spreadsheet first. I'll show you a very quick example of what we've done. So we have a spreadsheet with first, last name, mailing address, city, state, zip. We want all of this information included in our mailing labels. So we've gone ahead and done that piece, which sometimes is the hardest part, getting all of the data together. But we have our spreadsheet ready to go. And then the second step is to create a new doc. And then finally select the Avery Label add-on to move forward with creating your labels or your name tags. So let's take a look at how this works. So we have a sample doc out here that we can use for this demo. We've already installed it, so we just have to go straight to the add-ons menu, click on Avery Label Merge, New Merge. And at this point, it will prompt us to select whether or not we're setting up address labels or name badges or name tags. We're going to choose labels. And we can scroll through a list of different Avery products. We're just going to go with the very first one, the 30 labels per sheet for this example. Click Select. And then we will have to connect our document with a spreadsheet. So we've already created that, the example spreadsheet that I showed you earlier with all of the address information that we need. So we'll find it in our list, click on Select. And at this point, we can select which header names or which header fields we want to use to build our labels. So I'll just go ahead and start selecting those fields. So I clicked on first name, I can enter a space, and then click on last name. And then I'll have to return or hit enter to create a new line. And then select the street address. We'll do another return, city, comma space, state, another space, and zip. So we're building our label over here in the document. On the right-hand side, under the add-on column, we can also make changes if we need to. If we need to change the product that we selected or change our data spreadsheet or select certain rows that we want data to be pulled from, we can set all of that up here. When we're ready to go, we can click on Merge. And it may take a few seconds to load. And then it will let you know when it's done merging. You can click on Open. And there you go. You've got your document with your labels already formatted for you. One best practice note that I will share with you here is just to make sure to change the name of your document. You know, whatever you want to call it at this point. You know, maybe this is for your holiday cards or invitations that you have going out for a certain event. You can just change the name of the document there, and so you know which information you have and what it's being used for. And then one final slide on add-ons. When it comes to managing add-ons, there's a few different ways that you can take a look at which enhancements you've already enabled and activated for your account. You can go back through the individual app like we did earlier, go back to the add-ons menu and click on Manage. Or from your Drive landing page, you can go to the Settings gear, click on Settings, and then Manage Apps. And from those locations, again, you can view the apps that you've installed. You can go out to the product page to get more information and take a look at the overview as well as the reviews. You can add more apps from these locations, and you can also delete them. If you're ready to remove them from your account, this is where you can go. One additional note when it comes to add-ons or enhancements in general is they could cause performance issues depending on how many apps and how many enhancements you have installed and enabled for your account. It could cause your account to run a little bit slow. So if you are noticing that, it may be time to clean up your apps at that point so you can get back to regular speed again. All right, and before we move on to extensions, I'm going to look over at Louise and see if there are any questions submitted.
No questions yet. Get them coming, guys.
All righty. Well, we will go ahead and transition over to extensions, and I'm going to hand the mic over to Dawn.
Thank you, Katie. Katie's just finished showing you how you can enhance the individual apps by adding add-ons. Now what I want to talk about for a few minutes is how you can enhance your browser by adding some extensions. So extensions apply to browsers. First thing you might want to do is check, especially in Google Chrome, if you are signed in. Whoops. Little technical glitch here. Okay. So in Google Extensions Demo, we're going to show you several different ones that we can do. The first one will be the Save to Google Drive. Then we'll do the One tab, then the Boomerang for Gmail, and then the Send from Gmail. So the Save to Google Drive is an application that you can use to, whenever you see something on the screen, you want to capture it and save it into your Google Drive. All right, Katie, how do I get to the screen where I can thank you. All right, now to get a Google Chrome extension, one of the ways that you can do it is just go up to, are we still online? Okay, we'll go up to your Google settings, and you can go down to More Tools and find Extensions, and it takes you straight over to where your Extensions Manager is inside of Google Chrome. First thing you'll see is all the extensions that you already have installed, and way down at the bottom you can click on this to get more extensions. So we'll do that. So we're out at the web store now where extensions are available, and you'll see that there's a variety of categories out there. Right here is there some new and updated extensions. There's some editor picks and save for later, that type of stuff. So various categories. Over here you can look for different ratings. You can see I only want 4 or 5-star rated applications, that kind of stuff. All right, we're going to search for Save to Google Drive. So we'll click right there. It'll bring this up, and right here you can see where I'm pointing. We've got the Save to Google Drive extension. If we click on it, we can get more information about it, just like Katie mentioned earlier. You can look at the overview, you can read the reviews, see where the support is, and if there's any other Google extensions out there that are similar to the one that you have here. Over on the side over here, you can read a little bit of preview, some instructions about it, that kind of stuff. When you're ready to install it, you just simply click on Add to Google Chrome. It'll ask if you're sure you want to, and you'll say yes. And then off you go. And then up here, you'll see that it's already been added to Google Chrome, and it's pointing to it to show you what the icon looks for there. So now that we have it here, so if we want to use it, if we just go out somewhere to go out to some web page that we're interested in, and I see something that, oh, that looks kind of interesting. I'd like to save that because maybe I need it for a report or something later on. I just simply come up here and click on Save to Google Drive. It opens up this little pop-up, and it's going to take the title of the page right there and save it up there. So that's the name it's going to give it. We're currently going to save it as an image, and it's going to save it at the root of my drive. So I simply click on Close, and there it's been saved to my drive over there. If I wanted to save it somewhere else in my Google Drive, I could come up here again and click on Change, and now I have some options. I can change locations. Maybe this time I want to save it in another folder, and maybe I want to save it in a different format or something like that, so I could select that. So I've made those changes now. Now after I've made the changes, I can go back and maybe see something else I'm interested in and click on that, and now it's saving it up there. I can change the name if I want to, and I click on Close. And just to prove that it's there, if I go to my Google Drive and I look in the new folder, there you go. There it is. So it's as simple as that to use Save to Google Drive. And of course, once it's in Google Drive, you can do all your Google Drive things with it. You can convert it, you can save it, you can upload it, download it, use it in various documents, that type of thing. The next thing I want to show you is the One tab for Google Chrome. Now I've already downloaded and installed this, and you can see right up here, that's the icon for it, and it's right up here. A couple of ways that this can be used. We often have lots and lots of tabs open up here, and it gets pretty busy. And other times maybe you're structured. Maybe you're working on a project one day and you've got a set of tabs open for that project, and another day you're working on another project, so you got a set of tabs open for that. So you can see I've got a half a dozen or more tabs open up there. If I click on that One tab, now it takes all of those tabs and condenses it down to this one list, and it just leaves me one tab up here. Now I can call this a name if I want to. That can be Project A, and off we go. So if I'm now come into work and I want to work on Project A, I just click on one tab and do that. So maybe later on I have something else open, and I can come up here and click on one tab. It saves all that. And then I can go back. You can do various other things here too. You can delete them all. You can delete them selectively from over here, and there's some more options. But you can go through those on your own when you feel comfortable with that. But it's a very handy thing to do. It's really nice to keep all of your tabs grouped together. Yeah, when I close that tab, it closed our sharing screen with us at the same time. Whoops. So I'll restore them all back up here, and we'll get back to where we were. And presentation back. Oh, okay. Okay. And here we are back up here. One of the problems you run into when you do these, when you close your tabs, you literally close them all. All right, now the next one is probably going to be the most popular one for the use. It's called Boomerang. This one specifically is Boomerang for Gmail, and it can do a lot of wonderful things for you. If you ever have to need to schedule emails to go out of at a certain time. You've got some things going on today, and so if I come over, I've already got this one installed, so if I click on Gmail, it opens up my Gmail, and you can see I've got the Boomerang extension installed up here. And a couple of ways that you can use it. If you're composing a message, you can see down here at the bottom I have my send later option. So if I click on that, it activates the Boomerang features. You can say I send it out an hour, 2 hours from now, 4 hours, or tomorrow morning, or whatever. And these are customizable. You can do that. I can say a specific time. Maybe I want it to go out next Monday morning at 10 a.m. I can just simply do that, and I can confirm it. Now it's putting it on the schedule to go out for next Monday morning at 10 o'clock. When you're not in Compose, if you want to manage your Boomerang settings, from within Gmail, you can click on your Boomerang icon up here and come up here and see your different options. One of them is manage your schedule settings. So we can see that we have this message scheduled to be sent, and if I decide I don't want to send it, or I can send it now or don't send it at all, or I can reschedule it, whatever I want. So just because it's on the schedule doesn't mean that you can't go in there and do something with it after you've done it, so as long as it hasn't come out. Another thing that you can do too that we won't demo, we'll just tell you about right now, is you can come over here and you can learn about how to do a request receipt. So mails can go out and you can get a receipt request to go along with it. All right, the last one I want to show you here is send from email. And this, I use this endlessly all the time. I'll be somewhere out there and I'll come across something interesting that maybe I want to show someone. So here's something about the classmate. So maybe I want to ask Katie about something like this. So I just simply are on the page, any page, and I come up here and I click on this send with email link. It opens up my Gmail Compose window. It populates it with the title from the page, and if I want to send it to Katie, Katie, then off it goes. And when Katie receives it, she just clicks on that. Another way that I use this a lot, because I do a lot of user support and web support and stuff like that, so I'll get calls from people that say, hey, there's a link on this web page that's not working, there's the instructions on that page, it's not clear, or something like that. So I'll just simply say, well, go to that web page and click on the send it to me through Gmail, and put my address in there, and then add any notes you want to it, and then send it to me, and I get to see not only the page but your comments about it as well. Okay. Now, for managing your extensions, it's pretty straightforward. You just simply go up here to your menu. You can either come down to Settings and click on Extensions, or go to More Tools and Extensions, and you can see right here all of the ones that you have. And if you wanted to get rid of them, for example, the one that I just put on there, Save to Google Drive, maybe I'm finished with it. I can disable it if I want to, or re-enable it, or I can just get rid of it altogether. And there we go. Now I'm finished with the extensions part of it, so we'll hand it back to Katie unless there are any questions at this time. There doesn't seem to be. So Katie, if you'd let us know a little bit about Marketplace, we'd appreciate it.
Thanks, Don. Those are great examples of extensions. I know they're helpful time savers and tips everybody can benefit from. So let's move on to Marketplace apps. This is the last item we're going to talk about as far as enhancements this afternoon. And just as a reminder, Marketplace apps are third-party software apps that are integrated within Google Drive and Google Apps. Again, there are only a handful that have been approved for NC State to use, and so I'm going to walk through what those are here in just a minute. But within your consumer account and your personal Google account, you may be interested to search around and see what other options are available for you. So I do want to link you over to the Google Apps Marketplace, which is where you can browse and find different types of marketplace apps to add within your Google account. So again, you can do a search by category. There's a business tools option, productivity, education, so on and so forth, and see what all is available to you. When you want to take a look at the current marketplace apps that you have installed, you can click on the Manage Apps link, and that will show you what you currently have activated. So within NC State, we do have Lucidchart and LucidPress. So we're going to do a very quick demo of both of these. Lucidcharts is a great alternative to Visio when it comes to creating different organization charts, diagrams, flow charts, floor plans, that sort of thing. So we'll take a look at that first, and then we'll come back and walk through LucidPress. To access Lucidcharts or LucidPress from your NC State account, you can go to your Drive landing page, click on the red New button, and then select More, and you'll see additional apps that you have access to. So we'll go ahead and choose Lucidchart, and you do select which account you want to log in as. So we are in our training account today, so we'll choose that. And then you'll see a pop-up window letting you choose from a variety of templates. You'll see you have a lot of options here. If you don't want to start from scratch, you can choose a template that's already created and modify that, which I think is a lot easier if you already have something available to you to start from. So we'll see a few categories that are available here, some educational charts and graphs and diagrams. There's plenty out here, so hopefully you can find one that meets your needs and will work with the project that you're working on. A few engineering options, floor plans, flow charts. They even have some mobile options out there for you if you need to show examples of mobile screenshots. So plenty to work with here. For our example, let's take a look at a flow chart. And I'm just going to use a template that's already created so we don't have to start from scratch. And I'm not going to go through a complete step-by-step demo for you, but I do want to show you real quick how simple it is just to drop and drag or drag and drop different shapes over into your diagram. You can also pull over lines and connectors depending on what you need to connect. It's a very simple platform to use, but the real key here and what makes it so powerful when it comes to integrating into your Google Drive account is that it has that sharing option and that collaboration tool that is so unique to Google. So first we have to give this a name. So we'll call it Testing 1, and you can see a similar screen that you would see in your other Google apps when you go to share documents with other people. Again, it's not exact, which makes you realize that it is that third party, but you still can search for other people here on campus. So I'm going to share this with Don. He was able to come up without any problem. You can update the sharing permissions and what access they have to the document. You can create a link. You can also publish to the web, share out with different social media accounts, and you have that embed code. So if you want to embed it in a website, you have that option just like you do with other Google apps and Google Documents, and then it will automatically update on your website when you make changes within the document. So that is just a wonderful time saver. Once you have that embed code added in your website, it will automatically update for you with any changes. So I definitely wanted to highlight that piece. One more thing unique to these third-party apps, or actually just to Lucidchart itself, is that you can download this document in a different file format. So if you want to convert it to an image, a PNG, JPEG, you have that option here. You can also take it out to Visio if you're a fan of using Visio. Okay, so that's Lucidchart. And the other Lucid option that you have within your NC State Google account is Lucid Press. And back over on the slides, just a very quick overview of what Lucid Press is. It's an alternative to InDesign or Publisher or other publishing software or programs that you might use to create publications. I know there's a lot of people on campus who work on projects for communication purposes, who design flyers or posters or newsletters, and this is a great resource to use for those projects and for creating those publications. So we'll go back out to Google and select the account that we want to use with this particular app. Again, I just want to highlight a few of the different categories where you can choose from templates. You can create a brochure, business cards, flyers, letterhead, photo books even are out here and available to you. So we'll just choose a newsletter for this quick demo. I'll find a template and create new. And as it's loading, again, here I just want to highlight the sharing component and the collaboration tools. It still looks different. It's not seamless as far as what the other Google apps have for when you do share out with other people, but it still has the same functionality and the same ability. It just looks a little bit different. So again, I can search for anyone within NC State and they will populate here when I'm granting access. That link is still an option. Publish to the web, share it with social media. You can send it in an email, and again, you can grab code to embed it in your website. All right, so wonderful options here for you when it comes to marketplace apps. Hopefully you'll be able to use some of the information that we've shared with you today. I think there's some really powerful tools out there that can make your life a little bit easier in Google World when it comes to your everyday job responsibilities and any other projects that you're working on a regular basis. All right, so we will move on to additional resources. One additional piece of information we wanted to share with you, there are several different places you can go to manage these enhancements once you enable them for your account. And we've shown you a few of those as we've gone along. If you go out to accounts.google.com, this is where you can see a full list with even more information about the apps that you've installed. From connected apps and sites, and then manage apps, you will see that full list. And you can, at a very quick glance, tell what kind of access these apps have within your account. So that's nice to know if you've forgotten what you've agreed to with any of these add-ons. You can see them very quickly out here on this page. You can also click on the particular app and see when you enabled it. So see the authorization date and time. And that's, again, a nice reference to have if you need to find it later on. We've also done a little research and decided to put some links out here that might help you as you're searching for helpful and popular apps to enable in your account. So there are several different links to articles and blog posts that you may benefit from. So once you have time later on today or later on this week, hopefully you'll be able to click on some of these articles and read through and see if you can pull out any tidbits that may enhance and help you out in your job responsibilities and in your position. But there's some fun links out here too. I think you'll enjoy browsing through some of these resources. And just as an additional reminder, regarding help and support here at NC State, we can really just help with some basic questions when it comes to add-ons and extensions in the Marketplace apps. Unfortunately, we are not experts on everything that is out there. I wish we were. So we can only help with some basic questions. So if there's any technical issues or technical troubleshooting requests that you have, you're probably going to have to do some of your own research or reach out to the developer for more support. All right, so I'll look over at Louise and see if there's any questions.
We just have one about how to reference the slideshow at a later time, and I know you've got the Go link coming up. I think it might be your next slide, so I want to let you know we are answering that right now.
Yes, that's a perfect transition into one of our next slides, so we'll get there in just a minute. It's also available on the Showcase app. So if you hover over the top right portion of your screen on the HOA, there's a Showcase app there that you can click on, and it will bring up some additional resources for this particular presentation, and there should be a link to the slideshow there. So very quickly, before we conclude today, I just wanted to share with you some additional training events that we have coming up in April. April is a very, very busy month, so hopefully you'll be able to find something that you can attend. We have Google, of course. We offer Google workshops each month, but we're also training on ServiceNow, which is our ticketing system here at NC State. And there's some WordPress classes and accessibility classes that we have coming up too. So hopefully you'll be able to find something that you're interested in, and you'll be able to go out to the classmate page and register. Again, that website is go.ncsu.edu/classmate, and that will provide a full calendar of all of our training events. And we're getting ready to post our summer training schedule. So if you're interested in finding something coming up later on this summer, we hope that you'll be able to register and attend one of our training events in the next few months. All right, and per the question that Louise had on the Q&A app, here is a direct link to the slides that we've been reviewing today. go.ncsu.edu/add-ons-HOA. Lots of dashes in there. And we invite you to stay connected with our Google Services team as well as OIT for more information on technology issues and also Google. We do have 2 Twitter accounts, one OIT account and one through Google Apps. We also have the Google Plus page for the NC State Google Services team, which is how you were able to view the HOA today. Along with posting webinars for training, we also have tips and helpful hints, and we also post information on new features on our Google Plus page. So if you're not following us, I hope you will. I hope you'll circle up with us today if you haven't already to stay up to date and stay current on everything Google here on campus. Again, there's a link to the training calendar. And we also offer custom classes. So if you are unable to attend one of our workshops here on campus and you would love to invite us to your department and to present on a particular training topic to your team, we would love to work with you on that. So please don't hesitate to reach out, and you can email us at classreg@ncsu.edu and let us know what you're interested in, and we'll be glad to work on getting that on the calendar for you and your specific group. We also have an evaluation that we will follow up with and send that out to you today. We are very interested in your feedback on our training, especially the Hangout on Air process. We want to know how this works for you. And let us know also what topics you would like to see, not only in general on a face-to-face workshop, but also through the HOA process. So we would love to work with you and hear your comments and your feedback on training in general. Okay, well, I think we're coming up to right at 1 o'clock. And we just wanted to say thank you so much for taking your lunch hour to walk with us through this journey, finding out more about add-ons, extensions, and marketplace apps here on campus. We hope you've found this helpful and will be able to take away something beneficial to implement in your business process. Thank you all again, and we hope to see you at another training event soon. Have a great afternoon.